Dear students, good morning. Welcome to this lecture on the topic Principles of Bank Lending. So, what are the main functions of a commercial bank? So, the main functions are accepting deposits from the public. So, we all go and deposit our money, no? So, they accept deposit and use that money well by lending it to the public. So, lending is one of the main functions of a bank. And this is also the main source of profit for commercial banks. Okay, the lending policy of any commercial banks is usually governed by the monetary policy of the central bank. In our case, it is the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so why lending? What is the importance of lending? So, as already mentioned, this is the main source of profit. So, around 60% of bank's profit is through the interest earned from the loans given out. Okay, so the other reasons are banks are considered agents of indirect production. So producers purchase raw materials, machinery, hire workers, and get all the other means of production through loans from banks. So any businessman, he continuously takes loan to meet the basic capital requirement for his business. Okay, so they are called agents of indirect production. Because of the loans, so many production activities take place. Okay, since there is so much production, the next reason importance of lending becomes that it is a major source of employment. Because of mass production, mass consumption, obviously there is also spike in the employment levels. The other point is that it leads to increase in consumption. So with increase in production and increase in money in people's hand, they also spend more. So there is increase in consumption, which is generally very healthy for a economy, for a growing economy. Now employment. So there is employment which leads to better earning, better consumption. So all this leads to better standard of living for people in any country. And one of the major things of providing loans to people is that it contributes to economic development. So all these are connected factors. Loans are given for improvement in production activities. Increase in production activities calls for improvement in employment levels. More employment leads to more income leads to better consumption. More consumption means better standard of living, and this has a cyclical positive effect leading to economic development as well. So this is why loans or lending by commercial banks play a very important role. Now, having understood this, let's try and understand the various classifications of loans and what are the various purposes or the various heads under which loans are given to people. So the first classification, base of classification, is purpose. So loans can be either given for production activities or productive activities like agriculture, business, industry, and so on, or consumption activities like buying cars, real estate, and so on. The other classification could be based on security. So there are loans which are secured loans, wherein loan is advanced against the pledge of a collateral security like real estate, plant and equipment, fixed deposit, and so on. And there are unsecured loans which are not supported by any security. They are purely based on borrower's integrity, financial conditions, past record of payment, and so on. Then the other classification could be maturity period. So there are short-term loans which are repayable within 1 year. There are intermediate loans which are repayable between 1 to 5 years. And there are long-term loans which are repayable beyond 5 years. Okay. Then loans are given on the basis of method of repayment. So sometimes it is lump sum, that is the entire principal amount plus interest is paid on one final due date in one shot. And there are loans which are repayable on installment basis. Usually loans are repayable on installment basis, that is periodic payment is done, monthly, quarterly or half yearly periodic payment is done. And then the other classification is origin of loans. So what is the source of loan for the bank? I mean, from where have they pulled money and given it to the borrower? So source could be bank's own capital reserve. It could be public deposit from the deposits that the bank holds, or it could also be bank's own borrowing. Sometimes banks do borrow from central banks and other places. So it could be one of these sources. So based on the source of origin, loans are also classified. Now with this classification, let's also understand the various types of loans, broad types of loans. So the first classification is cash credit. So loans are given for meeting the working capital needs of business. So to meet the cash needs, in fact. So this is an advance given on the basis of current assets, receivables, and sometimes fixed assets are hypothecated for such loans. Okay, and borrower has to pay an interest for the amount used by him. The other category is overdrafts. Overdrafts are advance given usually to current account holder. So current account holders are usually business people to overdraw his or her current account up to a sanctioned limit. So overdraft, if the business person has say 10,000 in his account, so he can issue a check for 12,000. So up to 12,000 maybe the bank permits, although he may not have that amount in his account at present. Then there are demand loans. These are loans which are repayable on demand by the banker. The next type of loan, they are called term loans. These are sanctioned for specific period, usually over 1 year and less than 10 years, and they are usually sanctioned against security. Then the other category is clean loans. So these are loans which are offered without any major security measures. However, two persons should give a guarantee for the applicant, and the user or the applicant can use it for any kind of need, and not too much scrutiny is done on the purpose. This is usually offered to citizens only, and the interest rates are generally on the higher side for clean loans. Then the other kind of loans, they are called consumer credit. So usually we have seen loans given on various cards, debit card, credit card, for purchase of consumer durable items like cars, refrigerator, washing machine and so on. So amount can be drawn in lump sum and paid back in installments in such cases. Examples include car loans, housing loans and so on. Then the other category includes bills discounted. So as we all know, bills of exchange form an asset with businessmen. Many times bills of exchange, they are parked with the banks. So what happens is bills of exchange which are discounted by the bank, and the amount after discount is credited to customer's account. So if the face value of bill of exchange is 5,000, it is quite possible bank charges some interest and credits maybe 4,500 to the customer's account. Okay. And then we have import credit. So these are loans advanced to finance export and import business, and it includes pre-shipment and post-shipment finances. Okay. Now moving on, the next topic is it deals with principles of good lending. Now lending is the main source of income for banks. However, it is highly risky because you are dealing with public money on one hand, and you should be very careful while giving off as loan to people, and you should ensure it is used properly and you also get back the amount on time. Okay, so there are certain basic principles that should be kept in mind for good lending. So they include safety, liquidity, profitability. So when you lend money, it should be safe, it should be in safe hands, and it should ensure that bank has enough liquid funds even after giving loan. Profitability, obviously, it should ensure good rate of return, and the other principles are principle of purpose. So for what purpose is the loan given also becomes very important. The purpose has to be protective, it has to be generally short term so that it ensures liquidity and you are able to get the money back quickly. And the other principle is principle of diversification. So there are various in the bank's investment portfolio, they should follow the principle of diversity. So in the sense, even while giving loans or while investing, they should not put all the eggs in one basket. So there should be variety so that it balances out. Balances between profitability, liquidity, and solvency. Okay, and the commercial banks should also give loans, keeping in mind high returns. So sometimes to private entrepreneurs, and also look at government securities also. So a good balance between maximizing returns and minimizing risks. So again, going through all these principles of the first principle of safety, means this is the most fundamental principle, and since banks deal with public money, safety is very important. They cannot afford to lose public money or public confidence. Okay. So when it comes to liquidity, the next principle, banks should lend public money which are repayable on demand by depositors. Okay. They also should comply with the requirements, SLR requirements, statutory liquidity ratio requirements of the central bank. And then profitability is, of course, banks give money to make profit. So after incurring all the expenses of maintaining deposits, maintaining staff, renting out a place, it should ensure that there is enough money as profit. Okay. Then principle of purpose, as discussed, it should be the money directed should be for productive purpose, and generally preferably for short term, and this requires that the bank should closely scrutinize the purpose for which money is required by the borrower, and wherever possible, even after lending out money, they should have periodical checks done on the borrower. And then principle of diversification, as already explained, all eggs should not be put in one basket. They should balance out between liquidity, profitability, and solvency. The next topic is loan policy. Every bank needs a loan policy. A policy is a written document that sets the guidelines or criteria that would determine whether an application for loan should be granted or not. It also talks about the loan process, the various interest rates, and other details. Okay, so what is a loan policy? It refers to a set of guidelines or criteria developed by a bank and used by its employees to determine whether an applicant for loan should be granted or refused. Okay. So what are the factors that influence a loan policy or lending policy? So what should be the guidelines? What should be kept in mind before forming a loan policy? So below are the points. One is portfolio and earning requirement. So this is concerned with employment and distribution of funds in various assets to maximize profits without jeopardizing liquidity and solvency. So liquidity means if all the money, if all the deposits that the banks have, if they are given off as loans, then banks will not have enough cash to pay back depositors when they ask for it. So they have to ensure that they have enough cash before lending out money. So this is liquidity. And solvency, what does that mean? It means money from depositors should be given off after careful scrutiny, given off as loan. Okay. So if this is not done, it is likely to become bad debts at a later point. So with increase in bad debts, it will also lead to solvency issues. Okay. So the next factor influencing lending policy is the capital position of a bank. Capital provides cushion for absorbing losses. So a bank with strong capital base can take more risk, and banks with relatively weaker capital base should not be taking more risk with the kind of advances they get. Okay. The next point is monetary policy. The monetary policy of the Reserve Bank also determines the lending policy of the bank. If the Reserve Bank increases the net liquidity ratio and minimum cash reserve ratio, it would restrict the lending amount. So Reserve Bank can play around the minimum cash reserve and liquidity ratio requirements. The next is volume of deposits. So banks which have sufficient deposit, many customers and sufficient deposit, they can afford to give more loans as against banks which experience wide range of fluctuations in the deposits. Okay. And banks which are in places where there are many government employees who have working people, then they are more willing to give loans than banks who are exclusively in areas where there are people who are more dependent on loans than the deposit they give, or banks which are operating exclusively in business areas where continuously the amount is used for loans. Okay. Then comes economic conditions. The prevailing economic conditions would also have an important role in the way banks give out loans. In the current economic condition, with where businesses are all looking little down, especially with the pandemic, obviously banks will not be too comfortable giving heavy loans. Okay. So similarly, if the economy is doing well and businesses seem to be growing, the banks are more willing to give loans. Then skilled staff. So bank also needs skilled staff to do due diligence and also to process loans and subsequent follow-ups. So if there are enough skilled staff, bank is more comfortable getting into these activities. If there aren't, then they will not be very liberal in their lending policy. Okay. So having looked at the factors that influence lending policy, what should constitute a loan policy? I mean, within the document, what are the things that we find? What are the components or elements of lending policy? So in the document of lending policy, we'll see things like loan territory. I mean, the areas where they are willing to give loan. Like if the bank is located in a rural, remote area, so probably it will restrict itself to its customers within the rural area, or maybe it can talk about people within India to whom it is okay to give loans, because see, it should also be easy to monitor the loans given out. So the territory becomes very important. Then the loan document, lending policy talks about the various types of loans the bank is open to give. It talks about the various acceptable securities and the credit worthiness of the borrowers. It talks about the various maturity timelines for the loans given. It talks about the loan administration process, not only how the loans are given out, the lending procedure, but also who will administer and what are the steps taken post loan is given out, what are the monitoring steps taken out, and in case there are delays in repayment, what are the steps taken. Okay. Then there are interest rates which I discussed in the loan policy. Then size of loan portfolio, to what extent loans are given out. Then there is also a section about loan commitments. So many times business people, they engage with banks on through loan commitments. They talk to them in advance about their upcoming loan requirements, maybe within 1 year time space, the kind of loans that they will be requiring. So this helps bank also to be prepared for reserving amount to advance to business people. So loan commitment, it talks about various loan commitments. It also talks about the compensating balances in case there are delays in repayments, or uh, what kind of liquid cash they should have to compensate if the depositors come back to them for repayments. Okay, so all these are covered in the loan policy. So, what is the process of lending? The process of lending usually includes the following steps. The first is application. So, between the banker and the customer, an application form is duly filled out where applicant gives his details, purpose of loans, and various other details are also given. Post the application, a formal interview is conducted. So, application is usually followed by an interview which provides an opportunity for the loan officer to assess the customer's character and sincerity. So, anything lacking in the interview process, if there is something that is not looking all right during the interview process, then this must be recorded as a strong factor against the customer. Okay. Post the interview, there are site visits and evaluation of credit record done. So, if it is a business or mortgage loan that is applied for, a loan officer often makes a site visit to assess the customer's location and the condition of property. So, especially in case of mortgage, they have to also go and check the current state of property. By the way, students, talking about mortgage, I hope you are aware that mortgage, pledge, hypothecation, these are terms which are used when a loan is given against security from the borrower. Okay, so mortgage is usually for immovable property like fixed building, then machinery and so on. Pledge and hypothecation, they are referred to, they are terms used for movables. When movables are secured with the bank for loans, that is called pledge or hypothecation. And in case of pledge, the property remains with the bank. So it could be a machinery which the bank takes over, or it could be some share paper or some bond paper or something which the bank keeps it with itself. Okay, so this is the difference. So once the application form is done, interviews done, site visits are done, then there is a detailed evaluation of the financial condition. So at this stage, the customer is asked to submit various crucial documents, including complete financial statement. And in the case of a corporation, the board of directors resolution authorizing the negotiation of loan is also checked. Post this, a thorough credit analysis aimed at determining whether the customer has sufficient cash flow and backup asset in case there is an issue later on. This is also sufficiently scrutinized. So once the financial condition is evaluated, there is a discussion on possible loan collateral. So this is what I am talking about, the security against loan, so mortgage or hypothecation or pledge. So the assets are evaluated. So possibility of a loan collateral is discussed at this stage. And once the loan officer and the loan committee, they are satisfied with all this, then there is a formal signing of the loan agreement. So all the parties involved, they sign the loan agreement. So once loan is sanctioned, it is generally followed up with monitoring and follow-up. The new agreement must be continuously monitored to ensure that the terms of loans are followed by the borrower, and also that timely payment of principal and interest rate is also done as promised. Okay, and also periodical check is many times done with the loan officer to see that whatever the customer had intended to invest the loan money on, that is also as per what he has committed. Okay, so this is the process of lending. Having understood this, please let me know if you have any question answer. WhatsApp me that, and we'll look at other topics like non-performing assets and other regulations in the subsequent lecture. Thank you so much.